News at 10.
Well, they didn't think he was going to survive, but in the end, he did. A veterinarian at the Dickerson Park Zoo calls the recovery of a lead-poisoned eagle a medical miracle. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Jesse Inman. Heather has the evening off. This afternoon, a bald eagle got released back into the wild, and our David Chazanov was there. He's up first tonight. David, you saw that eagle today. How did he look?
Jesse, he looked great, considering 2 weeks ago he was having seizures and throwing up a lot, and his recovery would not have been possible without two men in Rogersville who stepped in to help. 2 weeks ago, Dwight Hedgepath noticed something on his property in Rogersville.
I saw the conservation agent's truck at the end of the driveway.
I received a phone call from a concerned citizen. They saw the eagle out in the field just sitting there. It didn't look right to them, so I came to check it out.
When Andrew Feistel saw the eagle, he knew the caller's concerns were justified.
The eagle was just on the ground and head drooping a little bit and didn't seem to want to fly. And I was actually able to walk right up to it and pick it up.
Hedgepath says he saw the eagle struggling and flapping around, which is when he decided to help Feistel.
I helped him wrap the eagle up in a blanket so he wouldn't hurt himself or get loose in the cab of the truck. So we wrapped it up and put it in the floor bed of the truck, and he drove it to the Dickerson Park Zoo,
where the bird went to rehab.
He was immediately having seizures. He was convulsing. He really couldn't open his eyes. He was lethargic. Head was, very wobbly. And the suspicion immediately was lead poisoning.
Joey Powell says blood tests confirmed that. Lead poisoning can happen after eating a carcass shot with lead ammo or a fish that was caught with a lead lure.
It is extremely toxic to them.
Zoo veterinarian Stephanie Zek gave the eagle treatment right away.
For the first 3 days there, we were not optimistic. We did not think this guy was going to make it through.
Then in just 1 day, he slowly started to get better.
Blinking, holding his head to standing, and has been flying pretty great.
He really shouldn't be alive. Our physician actually called him a medical miracle, and that is kind of stuck.
Today, his short road to recovery finished where it started.
Holy cow! Look at him!
I was glad that I could help. I don't think I did all that much, but it was fun to be involved in something positive.
It's a great privilege to me to be on this end of it, where it's a success story.
It's really a story that we're really trying to get out. There are other options besides using lead.
And this story has gotten really popular on Facebook. Some people now call him Patriot because of the way he fought through his sickness. Powell says with all that's going on in the world, it's amazing timing to see Patriot recover and beat those odds. And she says if you ever find an eagle laying somewhere, call the Missouri Department of Conservation.
Amazing story there, David. Thanks for that tonight. The latest on delivering the dose across Missouri. Governor Mike Parson's office announced that the state is increasing its number of mass vaccination sites, which are operated by the National Guard. There will now be 3 sites in each of the 9 Missouri State Highway Patrol regions, bringing the total to 27. The Missouri National Guard was ready to distribute nearly 2,000 COVID-19 vaccines in Poplar Bluff today. They'll return to that same site in 21 days to administer the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Looking at political coverage tonight, soon the clock will start on former President Donald Trump's Senate impeachment trial. Last week, the House cast a bipartisan vote to impeach the former president for a second time, charging him with incitement of an insurrection in connection to the January 6th Capitol riot. And 5 people died at the Capitol that day, including 1 Capitol police officer. CBS correspondent Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced she will send the article of impeachment against former President Donald Trump to the Senate on Monday evening. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate trial won't start until the week of February 8th.
Healing and unity will only come if there is truth and accountability, and that is what this trial will provide.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell had pushed for a delay.
The sequel cannot be an insufficient Senate process that denies former President Trump his due process or damages the Senate or the presidency.
This week, Mr. Trump's GOP Senate allies announced he has hired South Carolina lawyer Butch Bowers to anchor his defense. Several Republicans in the Senate have already come out against an impeachment trial for former President Trump, arguing it may be unconstitutional.
A post-presidential impeachment's never occurred in the history of the country for a reason, that it's unconstitutional.
There's nothing in the text of the Constitution
that prohibits an impeachment trial under these circumstances.
Georgetown University law professor David Super is among legal scholars who argue Congress does have the authority to impeach and convict a former president.
If he is convicted on impeachment by a 2/3 vote of the Senate then can vote again to impose a lifetime disqualification.
For a conviction, at least 17 Senate Republicans would have to join the chamber's 50 Democrats. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Senate Majority Leader Schumer says during the 2-week break between the transmission of the article of impeachment and the beginning of the trial, the Senate will continue consideration of the Biden administration cabinet nominees and COVID relief proposals. College of the Ozarks President Jerry Davis is reacting to a move made by the president. This comes after President Biden signed an executive order this week that revoked the 1776 Commission. Davis was appointed to it last month by former President Donald Trump. The commission was designed to promote what it calls patriotic education in schools. The premise alludes to the concept that America is flawed but is exceptionally good. However, the Biden administration disagreed, calling it political propaganda. Some historians that reviewed the commission's report say it downplayed America's role in slavery, in condemned progressive politics, and argued the civil rights movement conflicted with the nation's founding principles. Jerry Davis responded to the criticism on Fox and Friends this morning.
It comes down to what is your view of America?
Yes.
We view America as something that's good, and they correct things as we go along. There are people out there, self-appointed guardians of our heritage, that want to tell us that America is no good and can't be redeemed. These people just don't like America. So I think our commission, we told the truth. If they don't like the truth, that's their problem.
And agree or disagree, you can read that entire report on our website. It's over at ozarksfirst.com. The local group wants the city of Springfield to investigate 2 city council candidates claiming they aren't eligible for office. The Springfield Good Government Committee says brothers Marcus and Alexander Aton haven't lived at their Springfield address long enough to run for mayor and general seat A. However, both men provided evidence to our partners at the Springfield News Leader, claiming that they have lived at a Springfield residence since 2018 and not a Rogersville address, which is where the committee says that they did reside. The city's charter requires candidates to live in town for at least 2 years. Complicating the matter, many current council members have been backed by the Good Government Committee with thousands of dollars in political donations, and Color 10 has interviewed both of the Aton brothers in the past. They announced their candidacy last year, strongly disagreeing with how current leaders handled the COVID-19 response, and they've pledged not to shut down any more businesses during the remainder of the pandemic. Nearly 75 people may lose their jobs next month. The ECFO Corporation, an aluminum frame manufacturer, say it's closing its Springfield stores sometime in February. However, the facility in Monette is staying open, and many of the Springfield employees are being offered comparable positions there. EFCO's parent company, Apogee Enterprises, say the closure is a part of its effort to consolidate and integrate its overall business. It was a pretty good day out there in the Ozarks. Pretty beautiful out there. The sun was shining. Not really the case for the rest of the weekend, though, in its entirety, though, is it, Beth?
Right. Today we had a lot of sunshine, something we haven't seen in several days.